I see a story like this. New York student 21 is jailed for a year in Dubai after tapping airport security officer on the arm during strip search that left her half naked as they checked her medical waist binder. I'm just going to go ahead and already immediately press X to doubt on this, just knowing that there is a way more context to this story than what's being led on. Okay, nobody gets thrown in jail. I don't care what country you're in for tapping somebody on the arm. Like, come on, you were doing some extra shit. Okay, come on now, let's be honest. A New York business arts student, yeah, okay, professional liar, has been jailed for a year in Dubai after she tapped an airport security officer on the arm during a strip search as they checked her medical waist binder and left her half naked. She probably turned up half naked and they were already pissed off at her anyways. Dubai doesn't play around. Okay, but they're normally justified in their actions. The police, for the people that go over there and also, partake in the activities, notice a distinct lack of police officers, especially if you're coming over from a Western country, knowing that it's a generally safe society. Like, you can leave your wallet on a table if you're out in a public eatery, go to the bathroom, and then you can return back. You don't have to worry about any of your valuables, including your wallet, disappearing. You don't have to take your drink with you, wondering if it's going to get roofied or anything like that. Like, it's a generally high trust society, which is fantastic, meaning that they have a very low threshold when it comes to people acting up. So when the police show up, you know what time it is. Somebody crossed the line. There was another story, I do believe, from earlier this year. There was some, chick twerking and, throwing it back for the boys who ended up getting, snatched up by the police. And we're supposed to feel bad for her for breaking the laws that are down there. She was also getting stoned and all that stuff. Not the way that Dubai would like to deal with their problems, but, in the way that she was probably used to doing it at home. But no. Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, don't play like that. So, okay, Elizabeth Polanco De Los Santos. Oh, she's a problem. Okay, there's so many red flags right there. Who attends Lehman College in the Big Apple, was heading to New York from Istanbul with a friend, benefactor, sugar daddy, when they were detained during a 10-hour layover in Dubai International Airport on July 14th. What she thought would be a short stop in the UAE, 10-hour layover? Come on now. Turned into a months-long nightmare after an airport security was alerted to a brace Santos was wearing with her underwiring in it. Or on it. Yeah, that probably came up on the metal detectors, just saying. So she told airport officials she had recently had surgery. Oh, she went down for a BBL? Come on now. And she had recently had surgery and was mandated to wear the surgical brace around the clock. Liposuction? Maybe. One of the two. She was carted off to a private room and instructed to remove the brace, leaving her semi-naked and feeling violated. No, he needed to get strip searched. Something turned up on the metal detectors. You didn't inform anybody of it, so now you got to pay the consequences. Lesson learned number 1. She was eventually cleared to go, but since she was unable to get the back brace on herself, she gently touched one of the female customs officers on the arm to get her friend to help. Sure, that's what happened. You weren't being uppity during the time that you were being detained. I'm sure it's a bit of an inconvenience, but then at the same time, knowing that you're in a foreign country and they don't fuck around, you just found out. The female officer accused Santos of assaulting and insulting them, which De Los Santos denied. No, does that look like a face that wouldn't be getting, just really mad and, just, clapping their fingers together? I don't deserve to be here like that. Come on, what are you doing? She was forbidden to travel home. Yeah, and on Monday, she was sentenced to a year behind bars despite paying a $2,722 fine. Again, we're missing some context here. But to be honest, that kind of looks like a nice prison. Okay. Everything in Dubai is nice. Judges had ordered De Los Santos to pay a fine on August 24th, but instead of being allowed on her way, customs officials appealed the sentence. Okay. She had undergone a months-long ordeal and had to fork out $50,000 to afford accommodations in the expensive nation along with lawyers' costs. How did she do this? Oh, probably the quote-unquote friend that she was also flying around with. Since mid-July, De Los Santos has had to move from one hotel to another, and that's not normally what would happen. You can get a monthly stay at these places as well. So again, I'm calling bullshit. I was waiting for court hearings before she learned of her sentence. It's unclear where De Los Santos is currently being held, but detained in Dubai. Yeah, but she still managed to get this story out. The nonprofit advocating for her release says she fears she will be behind the notorious Al Awir prison. Yeah, I'm sure. A detained in Dubai has made urgent representations on behalf of Santos. Wow, imagine that, an American citizen. I don't even know if she's American. She goes to school in New York, but that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You're probably going to end up getting an intervention. You know, hey, if the UAE has anybody that's currently being detained, they'll just go ahead and make the exchange like you're Brittany Griner, like you're some bastion of patriotism that the United States needs to come and sweep in and protect. Meanwhile, the Tate brothers ended up languishing in jail with no charges for an indeterminate amount of time, ended up staying behind bars for the better part of 5 months. Before the U.S. Embassy intervened, I'd imagine something like this is going to pop off real quick because she was a good girl and didn't do nothing. Rahad Sterling, the CEO of Detained in Dubai, said people could end up detained in the UAE for years on bogus or minor charges and wants to warn, could end up, warns Americans Dubai is a dangerous place to visit. Yeah, if you're going to be the same type of ratchet hoe that ends up making you seek extracurricular payment, you know, there's a meme about what will you do with a camel if you go over to Dubai, you know. The Dubai porta potty's a thing, by the way. Elizabeth faced a degrading, painful, and humiliating searches. Probably not. When she transited through the international hub from Istanbul to New York, but the nightmare has not ended, Sterling said. Elizabeth only intended to transit through Dubai for 6 hours. Oh, okay. She didn't think it would last that long. 6 hours is not that long on thought time, I suppose. She's been there for months on end and has lost $50,000 in expenses and lawyer costs. Yeah, that's normally what ends up happening when you're being prosecuted. You'd understand. She now has been told she has 1 year prison sentence, but that is if all goes well. She'll only be detained until she can book a flight out of the UAE. So she spent $50,000. You guys are an advocacy group, and the only thing that's keeping her in the country is booking a flight out. I don't think that there's an extradition deal with the UAE, so if you leave and never come back, you'll be fine. On top of being humiliated and traumatized by airport staff, Elizabeth has suffered months of being forced to stay in an expensive country. Being forced to stay in Dubai. I can think of worse places to be forced to stay. Pay expensive lawyers and miss out on her university studies. I'm sure she was taking those very seriously. This is the kind of transportation hub that people would want to choose. Yes, because it's nice. If you aren't being entitled. She went on, Elizabeth is extremely worried that she will be detained in the notorious Al Awir prison and won't, as promised, be allowed to leave the country. I'm sure she's scared. Oh my God, she's 21 years old and there's a big concern. Even if she's allowed to be deported tomorrow, she will remain in prison up until then. Yeah, okay, whatever. Not knowing whether there will be further delays or whether, in fact, she will end up forced to serve the whole sentence. This is an extreme situation for a 21-year-old to go through. Yes, so was just flying out to Turkey in order to get some fat sucked out of your gut and put into your ass. Sterling said a mere allegation is not enough to secure a conviction, whether there is evidence of wrongdoing or not. Yeah, exactly. She referenced the case of TikTok influencer Tierra Young Allen, who was held in the same country for 3 months. That's the bitch I was talking about earlier. Yeah, for shouting at a car park employee. Yeah, for being a ratchet ghetto-ass hoe. She got thrown in jail. Fucking Dubai. One thing these Americans have in common is that they regret the day that they ever decided to visit Dubai, and they all continue to intensely warn other citizens to avoid her region. Yes, please. Anybody that you know and commiserate with, tell them to never go to Dubai, okay? Do not go to Dubai, Habibi, okay? Habibi, do not go to Dubai. At the time of her detention, De Los Santos said, we thought it would be more modern and futuristic city, but we were completely wrong. Yeah, it's a Muslim-run country. What the fuck did you expect? She also claimed her mother has been left in shock and suffering. She is really worried and keeps crying. But what about her father? Oh, right, there's a picture of her father who has since passed away. U.S. Representative Richie Torres told the Daily Mail on Monday, we are doing everything possibly can to work with an American official in the UAE to make sure Elizabeth can return safely home. Her next court date is October 24th, where, yeah, I would love to see a little bit more balanced reporting on this because, okay, if it's as bad, if it actually is as bad as she's reporting this to be, okay, you touched somebody on the arm in order to get the attention of your friend that was also traveling with you to make sure to put your back brace on, which you couldn't do yourself, which is kind of odd, but okay, cool. If everything laid out and played out exactly the way that you said it did, that's horrific. You're obviously being detained for some reason, but Dubai doesn't need the money. Okay, they're dealing with people that are far more ludicrous like this on a daily basis and going through this stuff relatively quickly. I still think that we're missing a whole bunch of context, and I also think that if there is more context, we're probably not going to hear this story anymore, and that her release will be privately secured, and that she'll be able to come back home, and then she'll just go, "Oh my God, it was so terrible that I was going over there. Next time, if I'm going to go on an international tour, I'm going to go to Tel Aviv instead." So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.